Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brenda, and today I'm going to talk about starting the keto diet. If you're new to this journey, I'm going to break down some tips for you to get you started, especially because spring and summer are right around the corner. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. Okay, and I do have 5 tips for you. Tip number 1, the first thing you want to do, and it's a must, is to clear out your pantry and your refrigerator from all the junk food you have. We're talking processed, sweets, anything packaged. If you look at the ingredients, more than likely you're going to see just junk in those ingredients, and you want to get rid of that. Just completely throw that out. You have to make room for the good foods, all the whole foods, natural foods. You want to make room for that because you will definitely need the room for that. And tip number 2, you want to start tracking what you're eating as far as fats. You know, these are going to be your macros, so you'll need to track your proteins, your fats, and your carbs. Now, if you've never been a tracker or counting your calories, we're really not focusing so much on calorie counting. It's more your proteins and your fats, and some foods, whole foods that you're eating, like cheese and certain foods, will have some carbs. So that's why I say you want to track all 3 of the macros. And if you're starting out, this is your first time ever, this is the first time you're a beginner, it is best to track it first just to see, what you were eating before compared to what you're going to be doing now, to see your calorie intake. We really don't realize how many calories we are eating when we're not tracking, especially if you're trying to lose weight and you're not losing weight. It's good to track to see, what you're doing, what you're really eating, because a lot of times we're eating more than we think we are. And tip number 3 is always having your keto meals ready. And what I mean by that is meal prepping is always helpful. For example, when I first started, I always had boiled eggs ready to go. Especially in the beginning, your body is trying to transition. Just there's a lot of changes going on, and you might have those hunger pangs where you need to have something and you don't want to reach for the bad foods. Those are easy, especially if you haven't cleaned out your fridge. Those are easy to go for if you're out and about. Again, quick and easy to get in that drive-through and order something bad. So you always want to have, especially if you're eating at home, those foods ready to go. Boiled eggs, cold cut, food, leftover food prepared and ready to go for your lunch. Or if you work at home, if you work out of the home, you want to have your lunch ready to go, prepared. That helps so much, because if not, again, you don't take your lunch to work, you're ready to go out and get fast food, which is not healthy and it's not going to help you. If you're a snacker and you are eating a little bit of carbs, such as berries, the fruit that I eat are berries only. I don't eat any other fruit but berries. And that's not every day, but you want to have those accessible to you. Again, and one of the most important things, and this is going to be tip number 4, is staying hydrated. You always want to stay hydrated, and not really just drinking tons and tons of water all day long. You want to just be hydrated, because a lot of times you'll be dehydrated and you'll think that you're hungry when you're really not. Your body's just wanting that water, and those signals can get confusing. So one thing that I like to do, especially if I've already eaten, because usually I just have 2 meals a day. And normally I am good with that. But if for some reason or other I'm feeling hungry, I'll think, wait a minute, I just ate a couple hours ago. This isn't, normal for me. I'll drink a glass of water, and I usually sip. I don't guzzle my water, anything like that. I'll just be sipping, and within 20 minutes or so, I'm fine. So it was because I didn't have enough water. And usually for the day, I do drink water, and I also, most importantly, have electrolytes. When you are eating a very low carb diet, especially under 20 grams, because that's what you want to stay under to be in ketosis, you want to have your electrolytes. There are different versions of electrolytes out there. My number one go-to is by LMNT. I will have all my links in the description, and LMNT is one of them. And you can click on that link and look up information, or Google the information and do some research. It doesn't have to be LMNT. As long as it's a good quality electrolyte without added sugars, just process things in it, you're fine. But again, that is very important to be hydrated. Otherwise, you're going to start hydrated and have your electrolytes, because you're going to start getting headaches, cramping, fatigue. You're going to experience all that, especially doing this way of eating, because it is definitely an adaptation phase that you'll be going through. So you will have some side effects unless you really start cutting down your carbs slowly. Some people don't. They just want to dive straight into 0 carb or 10 carb or 20 carbs. Whatever you're doing, just keep in mind that a low carb diet way of eating will affect you in some way, so stay hydrated. All right, and the last but not least, and another important tip, is do not feel bad if you eat something that you're not supposed to eat, if you're not losing the way you want to lose or as quick as you want to lose, because remember, you didn't get here overnight. It took a while, so it's going to take a while to lose the weight. However, I will say that at the beginning, depending on how much weight you have to lose, you will lose a lot in the beginning faster than you will later on down the line. And that is water weight. And that's from all the carbs that your body is retaining the water from, that you will lose first. So it's not necessarily fat loss that you're losing at the beginning, it is water weight. So it doesn't matter what type of keto you're doing, high protein, high fat, carnivore, you're going to have times where you just feel like giving up. So don't do that. Just think about why you're doing it, and just think positive, because it is hard. In the beginning, the first couple of weeks, it's hard. I went through it where it's not so much that I gave up, it's more of thinking about it constantly. What if I have this? What if I eat this? This shouldn't sabotage it. I'll be okay. I've been doing good the rest of the week. You'll try and rationalize with yourself. So don't do that. Just make it, your focus on why you're doing it, why you've started. And if you've gone through ups and downs of keto, or talk about what type of keto you've done or you're doing down in the comments. Again, everybody's weight loss, fat loss is different, and do not compare yourself with anybody else, because our bodies are different. Our bodies hold weight differently in different areas. We're just different from each. We're our own individual self. So don't give up on yourself, and just track your progress. Get a journal. Start with day 1. I started day 1, the keto journey, what your starting weight is, and how often you weigh yourself. That's up to you. Just don't think about it too much because it can become overwhelming. But just put all this information in your journal every single day, how you're feeling. And, after 90 days or so, you can go back and look in your journal and look at, wow, I started out with this weight. Now I'm this weight. Or if you're not even doing it for weight loss, you're doing it for health reasons, that's another video. But again, tracking your progress always helps. How you're feeling when you wake up in the morning, how do you feel? Do you have more energy? Do you have more focus? There's a lot you can put in your journal. And down in the description, I will put a couple of calculators down there to keep track of your macros. I'll even put a TDEE calculator down there to, measure out where you need to be as far as weight. It's got different tools, so I'll link that down below. I'm going to link my weight loss journey here. Go check that out.